On October 13th, 2016, 43-year-old Michael Orchard was enjoying his afternoon in his neighborhood in Half Moon, New York. He was just hanging out, having a good time, when he noticed to his dismay that his neighbor's house just a few homes down was on fire. Now, apparently he didn't have his cell phone, and so to raise the alarm, he began running to all of his other neighbors' houses. And he's pounding on their front door and windows, and he's screaming for somebody to please come help him with this fire. But eventually, when he realized that nobody was coming to help him, he realized it would be incumbent upon him to intervene. He knew his neighbors whose house was on fire, they weren't home, but they had a dog in the house, and he knew he had to save that dog. So Michael went sprinting back to his own house, and when he got to his driveway, he got in his BMW sedan, and without any hesitation, he went tearing through his lawn and all his other neighbors' yards until he got to the house that was on fire. Their backyard was surrounded by a fence, but Michael couldn't let that stop him. So he took his BMW and plowed right through that fence into their backyard. When he got there, he got out of his car, he ran to their back door, which was a sliding glass door, and he got something and he broke out all the glass to that door. And without any thought to his own personal safety, Michael ran inside that burning home after that dog. Now, eventually he found it. It was a large white dog, and when he found it, he scooped it up in his arms, and somehow he made it out of the house without any injury to him or the dog. When he got into the yard, he made his way around to the front of the house, and shortly afterwards, emergency services did show up. The police showed up, and when they got there, there's Michael standing in the yard, and he kind of lifted up the dog triumphantly in his arms, showing them and all the other neighbors that the dog was just fine. He and the dog were going to make it. Well, the police, they came up, they calmly took the dog away from Michael, and then, to Michael's surprise, they placed him under arrest. Now, he was initially probably pretty confused because, yeah, he had done all this damage to the neighborhood, but he had also saved this dog from a fire. Well, once Michael and the police kind of put their heads together and got the story straight, it didn't take Michael long to figure out why he was arrested. You see, shortly before Michael had noticed the flames and smoke on his neighbor's house, he had taken a bunch of LSD mixed with cough medicine. There was never a fire, and so from the neighbor's perspective, all the people in his neighborhood, he had just been running around the neighborhood in the middle of the afternoon, knocking on all their doors and windows, screaming about a fire that did not exist and begging them to come help, rescue this dog. Well, eventually they had seen him just run back to his own home, get in his car, drive through all of their yards, and then drive through their neighbor's back fence where he broke down their neighbor's back door, ran into their home, and stole their dog. So eventually someone had called police. Michael was charged with burglary and criminal mischief, which he pled guilty to. He had to do some time in rehab. When asked why he wasn't also charged with a DUI, the police spokesperson said it was because at no point had Michael operated a motor vehicle on an actual roadway.